In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a wallet out of a Disneyland map. And this is going to be version 2 of a wallet out of a Disneyland map, as this particular wallet uses the entire map and doesn't require you to remove a panel like the first version of my Disneyland wallet. The nice thing about that is that then that gives us some extra pockets here that we can use to put cards in. We have a card pocket here. We have a pocket back here for other cards and other things, and of course your currency pocket right here. And then after this video, I'll also show you how to make this out of a piece of paper that's not a Disneyland map, because most of you probably don't happen to live right next to Disneyland. And anytime I do a wallet or an envelope, I always get questions from people who are using currencies other than the American currency, wondering how they can make the wallet or whatever fit for what they have. So really the easiest way to do that is to take whatever currency you'll be using, in this case 20-pound note, and then just take and cut it down to the right size, and then you'll find that it fits really nicely. So now, if for whatever reason you feel like you don't want to do that, I will show you a way to make the wallet, size the wallet to fit just about any currency. I think the highest, the tallest currencies are a good 20-pound note, which matches the 100-pound from Australia. So I will show you how to make, to size the wallet based on whatever currency you'll be using. Okay, so what we're going to do is take our map, open it up, and whatever side that you want to be the front part of your wallet, which in this case is a Disneyland map, you really would like to have, you know, this part be the front. So that starts down, and we'll take whatever currency we're using for our measuring guide, and in this case I'm going to use a Disney dollar, but again you could use a 20-pound note, whatever currency you happen to be using, and this will work. What you're going to do is you're going to fold the first pocket, the outside flap, the outside of the wallet here, which is it makes the pocket for the currency bill. So you want to use the bill to measure that, and the easiest way I found to do that is to hold it down here, and what you do is you're going to fold this over like this, and then use the bill to find the distance you need by making sure you have a little bit of an overlap, not too much, just a little bit. And then once you find the distance that you're looking for using the bill that you're using, again, if you're using, say, this, you would extend it down like that. But in this case, I'll just use a Disney dollar, and that's about right. I just pinch this edge right there to set that mark, and then I make sure that this edge lines up with this edge before I start really creasing it. And what I want to do is I want to line up this crease with this crease so that it keeps this edge here and this fold up here as straight as possible. Now, when you're using a Disneyland map, it's really important that you line up the creases and not any printing that might happen to lie along really close to the crease, because sometimes those printed landmarks aren't very accurate. And so what I do is I just keep doing that same process, making sure that the crease lines up all the way down. And as I keep doing that, that ensures that my folds are straight. And so if you do it nicely, this will line up, as long as, of course, the paper is square. The next thing we're going to do is create the credit card pocket. And we're going to do the same process, really, that we did for the bill. Is we're going to take a card and we're going to place it at the bottom corner, and give ourselves just a little bit of distance. Again, like we did for folding the currency pocket, we're going to give ourselves a little bit distance off the edge, and then we're going to take this and fold it down over that. So you see here I've left myself a little bit of room there, and then I'll just go ahead and pull this to the edge of the card and make a pinch there. And then I make sure that the edges line up. And again, as I go down, now in order to make these creases line up, what I like to do is I'll pull this flap out so that now I can see the creases to help me line up as I go down. And again, if I did that all well, this will line up nicely. Now, after you've done that, don't forget that you need to then unfold this part back to where it was, like that. And then go ahead and take this and fold it up right along the edge of the bottom of the wallet. Now, sometimes I like to actually give myself just a hair, just a little bit of space there, because once we fold some things under there, it helps make it look nicer. It's a very minor point, but I do like to give myself just a little bit of clearance there. And then, of course, lining up these creases as I go down really helps keep it as even as possible. If it doesn't line up perfectly, it's not a complete disaster. So go ahead and keep doing that all the way down and hopefully get a nice edge along here. Now that we've done that, what we want to do is take this flap and open it up, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this in. This is to taste, however you want. This credit card pocket, this will be the pocket, the distance, this flap right here. I don't like to leave a raw edge if I can help it, because it'll be more prone to rip and tear and maybe even give yourself a paper cut, which is never fun. So go ahead and just give a little bit of a let here, and again going down, keeping the creases lined up, and then fold this back in like this. And so you can check this here, your measurements, make sure the card fits in nicely there, and your currency fits in nicely there. So that works nice. What we're going to do here is take this corner here, this edge here, and we're going to fold it along this crease, making a 45-degree angle. So fold this edge along this crease, like that. And then we're going to take this flap here and we're going to fold it up so that it lines up with the bottom. Now, the reason why, this is why I suggested that when you fold the wallet, you give yourself just a little bit of a edge here, and I will fold this along this edge. And the reason being is because what we're going to do is we're going to open this up along that crease, and then this flap is going to fold underneath to lock the wallet in. And of course, by doing that, there's always going to be a little bit of extra come down here, and by giving yourself that just tiny bit, it helps keep the back edge of the wallet looking clean. It's a very minor point, so it's not extremely important to do that, but that's one of the little things I like to do to try and make it look a little neater. And now that we've got that side of the wallet done, we're going to work on this side of the wallet, and we're going to take advantage of this extra panel that we have now. And what we're going to do is this right here is the center now of the wallet. So this is the edge. I'm going to fold this in, and we're going to fold this panel back. Now, one thing I like to do is try and keep things away from this center crease. And this last panel is usually just a little bit short of the edge of the wallet. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this so that this lines up, and then hold it tight and create a new crease here. That pulls things just a little bit away from this center crease so that it folds a little bit nicer. Again, that's a very minor adjustment, but it can help make it look a little cleaner. All right, and then from there, what we want to do is we want to take this flap here and we want to extend it down so that we can fold over and lock like we did on this side of the wallet. So in order to do that, we're going to open this up, and again, this is the center of the wallet here, and this is the edge. And what we're going to do is take this crease here, and we're going to line it up with here, putting a 45-degree crease here. So right now, this is folding in and a valley fold, and we're going to pop that out and make that a mountain fold and make it line up with the bottom edge here, like that. Go ahead and crease that in. And once you've kind of got it set, go ahead and open up this flap here, and you'll be putting another 45 here so that the flap down here lays open. So how I did that is, as I lifted this up, I pulled this open here, made sure that this crease here lied along this edge, and did sort of a squash fold there, like that. And then fold this back over. Now again, we're going to want to take this flap and extend it down. So what we're going to do is open this up and unfold this flap, and you're going to unfold it past this crease. So you're going to pop that a little bit to make sure that, and then you're going to fold it down. And so now what you're going to have is this wavy part here is trying to deal with being on both sides at the same time. And so what you're going to do is you're going to flatten this out, and you're going to put in a squash fold right here. So make sure that this crease here goes all the way to the top. See, right now it's trying to cut that crease short. You don't want to let that happen, so lay this down, and I'm going to pop that open, making sure that that's a nice, even squash fold like that. And what that does for me now is when I lay this back down, this flap extends its full distance. And so now I can open the wallet and tuck it in like this. And that holds this part of the wallet tight. And then what I do on this side, these will become the extra card pockets, is just take this and fold it down to create a nice 45-degree angle, and then open it up and tuck it backwards using that crease you just made as a guide to give yourself a nice 45-degree crease there. And then this next flap, will be a single sheet, single layer. I just roll it back and do this by sight. Just kind of decide that looks good and make it tight. In there, I have made myself a nice wallet of the Disneyland map that has card pockets here. It has a nice currency pocket here. And you can see that it has pockets here, and a nice extra card slot in there. So it makes a very nice wallet with a lot of pockets to use. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Now I'll show you how to make this from any piece of paper if you don't happen to have a Disneyland map handy. The dimensions of the Disneyland map are 9 inches high, which are about 23 centimeters, and it is 19 3/4 wide, or about 20 inches, which comes out to just over 50 centimeters. Now, you don't need to match those dimensions perfectly. If you're going to cut this out of a piece of paper like I did here, I just made this 20 inches by 9 inches, which would be about 50 centimeters by 25 centimeters. That's not in an exact conversion, but it doesn't have to be an exact. What's nice about 20 inches or 50 centimeters is that that is very easily divisible into the 5 panels that we need. So then you can just go ahead and measure. In this case, if I did 20 inches, I would have 4-inch marks to give me 5 panels. If you have 50 centimeters, that's 10 centimeters. Makes it really nice and really easy. And then after making those even marks, you can fold on those marks, and then on this last panel, I cut off a strip about 1/4 inch, a centimeter, 2 centimeters, so that that last panel is just a little bit shorter than the other panels. I find that easier than trying to take a 19 3/4 and make weird calculations. So just make it an even number, like 20 inches across or 50 centimeters across, divide it into 5 equally, and then just slice a little piece off the end. And so when you have that panel, this panel that's a little bit shorter than the other ones, when you fold it in like this, you'll have a nice gap right there, and that's when you push this and create a new crease here. And make sure that when you're doing your, folding this back and folding all the folds, that you're folding it on the new crease that you made, not the old crease. And then tuck that in. And again, what that does is that keeps the paper away from this center crease so it doesn't bind up and it folds nicely. And in this case, I made this wallet and I used the dimensions of a 20-pound note, and so that will fit nicely in there. And of course, I can put cards in here and here. So it follows the exact same measuring procedure that you would with the map or with any other currency. So there you have instructions on how to make a nice wallet out of a Disneyland map, how to make it for any size currency, or how to make it from any piece of paper that you would like to make your wallet from. And you can see where the front design is there and then shows up in this pocket here, and when you fold that down, it shows up there. So that's how the design will look. I hope you have fun with this wallet.